Hey guys, I just wanted to talk about my experience with the Colter Wall concert that I had seen recently in Austin, and mostly because when I had received the tickets, I'd looked online and tried to look for some videos on a review, and not because I thought it would be bad, because I felt it was going to be good, so I just kind of wanted to hear more positive things to kind of build up the anticipation as we got closer to the date, and I gotta say it was a great experience. So I thought it would be helpful to make this video so that if you did get tickets or you're interested in it, kind of what you're getting, and that kind of just expressing how worthwhile it was. So it was, like I said, it was at the Moody Theater. It was more of a smaller venue, pretty intimate, and we went in. The opening act wasn't, to me, it wasn't that great, and it could be maybe he had a bad night. It just felt, it was very low energy, so it wasn't really hyping up the crowd in any way. And I'm not talking like, I don't know, obviously not like club music. It was a Western performance, but it was just much slower ballads, like a songwriter type. But to me, the songs didn't feel too strong. And like I said, I mean, I'm sure opening up for Colter Wall is a lot of pressure in itself, and maybe it was just a bad night, but it was fine. It didn't ruin anything by any means. But when Colter Wall came in, you could definitely feel the shift in the audience, of course, and they just went boom right into the music. And once you go into the music, you're taken away, because one of the things that you notice, besides what you came for, which was the booming voice and the guitar, the band was amazing. I cannot say enough about the band. I mean, you got the lead guitar player, who I'd never heard of him before. I looked him up after the show was done, and I saw he did a few things, but I was expecting this guy to be like way up here, and it's just something that just, you know, slipped my radar. But he was phenomenal, and then they had the steel guitar and the harmonica and the bass, and I would say, like, you know, between the harmonica, the lead guitar, and the steel guitar, they were just blending in a way where when one instrument would leave on a certain note, the other one would take that note and then go in over here, and they would just be weaving back and forth and blending it in. And then of course the drums is just knocking it out, keeping it together, and then you hear Colter's booming voice just floating over it, and it just felt so good. And as when he would stop singing, a lot of times in bands and stuff, when they stop singing, you're hearing the band, but you're just kind of waiting for the hook to come back in, or just waiting for the singer to start. As great as his voice is, when he stopped singing and the band went, it could have gone for the rest of the night that way, and I would have loved it just as much. And that's a compliment towards the band, and Colter Wall's voice. I mean, it was just so damn good, dude. I was blown away. So we came in for Colter, and we left feeling like them as a band was just outstanding. So with that said, I'm sure I'd seen it in interviews and stuff like that, and he sang about it on his single for the new album. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's a great album. 1800 Miles was the single, and he talks about that he's not going to win an award for best in show, and that is the case. And I don't know anybody that's really expecting to see a crazy entertainment side of a country singer like that. But it reminded me a lot of George Strait in a way, where George Strait doesn't go in and interact too much with the audience, and so he really didn't interact very much. I think he maybe, when the band left the stage to allow Colter to sing and play guitar, he asked somebody in the front the score on the ball game, which was a genuine question. It wasn't like, hey Austin, how you guys doing, or whatever. He didn't do none of that. I mean, it could have been in any city. And but you didn't need it, dude. Once he started singing, it was on, and that's all you really needed. And it was such a good performance. I mean, I can't explain it enough. The sound quality, you hear these older country records, like Honky Tonk Heroes comes to mind, and you're listening to it and you're hearing this sound, and you can't put your finger on it, and you go, they don't make music like this anymore. You don't hear it. And not only did they recreate that sound, they expanded on it, and it seems like they know what they're doing, because they allow the harmonica to have these harmonica solos where it just goes up and down, and the same thing with the guitar and the steel guitar and the drums and the bass. So you really got to soak it in. And like I said, when the band leaves and Colter Wall goes up there and he's singing, you're just hearing Colter, and the voice is just booming in your chest. I mean, I never got to see Johnny Cash live. And I'm not saying that their vocal style is always similar or, you know, anything like that, but there's something about that deep voice when you hear it in your chest and it's booming. You go, man, I don't want this to end, basically. And so it was just a wonderful performance, and I really enjoyed it. It was just something that I highly recommend. It's worth the ticket prices. I've seen in some of the interviews that he had brought up, I think he spent 6 months ranching and stuff, doing what he wants to do. And then he said that he spent the other 6 going on tour, and it doesn't seem in the interviews that he like thoroughly enjoys doing this. But I mean, it does show, I mean, he seems to be grateful, obviously, and stuff like that. And I didn't take it, I don't think anybody else took it in a way that they felt like, oh, this guy is arrogant or anything like that, anything that way. It just felt, like I said, like George Strait or something like that, where they just get in, they perform, they give you exactly what you want, and then they get out, and then they go about their business. And that's what it was, dude. And it was a really good experience. I did read in some of the interviews, some of the reviews, that they mentioned rowdy fans and stuff like that were kind of killing it. I didn't get too much of that, especially in my section. And closer to the floor, like in front of the stage, I did hear people kind of like shouting and doing a little bit of commotion on a slow country song that really did match the tone of the music. But it wasn't overbearing or make you feel like the performance is getting ruined in any way. It is what it is. I mean, this guy's got a lot of fans, so very excited, I suppose. And but just overall, wonderful performance. I highly recommend it. And the reason why I was bringing up that he only performs like half a year or so is that this seems like the type of guy that I don't know that he's going to be doing this forever. You know, it seems like he might be the type of guy to just put out music and maybe do a couple of shows a year or something like that. But it's not something, I don't think touring is something he's in love with. And the music is so damn good, it really doesn't matter to me, man. I mean, it is just unbelievable. So if that's the way he wants to go, that's the way he wants to go. But I bring that up to see if you get an opportunity to go see him, go see this dude, because you might not get to see him again, or it might just be much more difficult to do. So I highly recommend it. I hope this video meant something, and I hope that if you did get tickets, it builds up some anticipation. And if you were kind of on the fence about it, this solidified it, because it was a great show overall. I can't express it enough. So thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great time, or had a great time, or whatever the case is. But I appreciate it.